Hey, boys and girls. You ever wonder what would happen if you'd made a different choice? Well, we get to kind of see what that is in Sublimation, new book out by Isabel J. The gist of this story, and I still don't know whether to call it a fantasy or a sci fi, because in this world, this is just how things operate. We're not given a magical or a science explanation for any of it. But anyhow, there is something about borders, even though borders are made up and, they can change. In this world, based on your I don't know if I want to say psychology, but basically based on your desires and wants. If you cross a border, there's a chance for you to become an instance. There'll be one part of you that stays inside the border of your land, whatever that world may be. And there's another instance that moves on and goes to whatever country you're trying to move into, et cetera, and so forth. The main characters in this are from South Korea. uh, they're friends. They find out later that at some point they have both moved to America and instance. So there's a piece of them that are still in South Korea. There's a piece of them that are still in the US. And in this world, the only science fiction part is that they've designed this bracelet or something that, because if you touch your instance physically, you'll be reabsorbed and you become one person again. So they've developed some sort of wristband or something that's supposed to, with 95% success rate, uh, keep you from being absorbed into that. And so most people, each one of them will have a wristband just to, double up on the prophylactics. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, main character, uh, So Young Rose. Sorry, had to think of the So Young part for a second. She split up. The one that stays in Korea still goes by So Young. The one that's gone to the US goes by Rose. But their grandfather has passed away, and it's his desire for her to come back from America, to come back, see her mom, I guess, et cetera, and so forth. Uh, and she's never really wanted to go back to South Korea, but there's something pulling her, so she decides to go back. And of course, she's always worried that So Young's going to want to reintegrate because she doesn't want to. She likes her life in the US. Um, and without getting too spoilerish, something happens, and their best friend, who's also got instances and oh my goodness, I've forgotten his name. Anyhow, he's in both places as well, and the one that's in the US is working for this company that's designed this tech that if you do reintegrate, they can still split you back out and have separate, because yes, there's always a chance that crossing a border will let you separate again. But it's not going to be like the original ones, because that new integration or new instance is going to be at this point. So if you integrate again, or if you instance again, you're both going to have those memories up to that point. And because basically what So Young Roses found out is that it's not like in the movies and TV set where you're like, oh, reintegrate and you just know everything. Everything is different, because imagine you're in that situation, you reintegrate, and now you go back home, and home is at the exact same time a place that you've always lived and a place you've never been to before. And it really kind of messes with your head. And again, if you talk about the fact that if we are a collection of our uh, uh, interactions and memories and decisions, then that new reintegration is really a different person than the two instances were, because you've got all of their stuff. So what one might not have done and the other might not have done, the reintegration, that's something they might have done, because they've learned from both sides. But anyhow, they've got 6 months to do it. The trials are pretty much over. Everything's run by the government, because it's that type of world. Uh, uh, I will actually give her credit. The U.S. actually doesn't look too bad in this one. Yes, this everything's still run by the government, but they're one of the few places that allows people to have full rights and stuff as instances. Some other countries, uh, instances are killed automatically. Some other countries, instances are basically treated like chattel. Uh, if you've got, only one of your instances can actually be a person. Uh, but anyhow, doesn't know if she's going to be able to get through the hoops. So, they're trying to sneak her in to have this process done. Because So Young Rose has quickly realized that they like to be in So Young and they like to be in Rose. They don't like being So Young Rose. But then you get the whole intrigue thing going on because what happens when only the U.S. or whoever they sell it to has control over this technology and can decide who can become an instance and who can't, and who can be reintegrated and who can't. And we go from there. It is, I mean, obviously it's got kind of pushed as a sci-fi because we do have this new tech that's being designed, um, but it's still very much a world based on stuff that's far and apart from us. Uh, Instancing was not anything that was ever created by the human mind. Instancing was not created by a magical spell. So I'm not really quite sure what to put this in. I will tell you that it was way better than I was expecting. Uh, and I'm not saying that I wasn't expecting something good. It sounded interesting, but it ended up turning out even better by not being what I thought it was going to be in a weird way. Anyhow, I think you should pick it up. I really enjoyed it. I can't say too much more about it without giving some stuff away. But if it sounds like something that might be up your alley, go ahead and check it out. This book is way less about science fiction and way more about our decisions, our regrets, our family, our interactions with other people. It just kind of does so on a kind of a science fiction background. Um, yeah. All right. Oh, also, if you're bored, we had an interview too, so you can go check that out. All right. Catch you later.